Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pod's Moving and Storage Studio, it's The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life and your money. I'm Ramsey personality George Camel, joined by my good friend Jade Warshaw, and we're taking your calls at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Well, Jade, I want to start off the show with something that grinds my gears. Can we do that?
Let's do it, George.
And that is the iPad tipping screens.
Oh,
Can we
thank
all
God.
agree we need to be done with those?
Thank God somebody said something, George.
So Rachel Cruz and I, we've got our Smart Money Happy Hour podcast, and the most popular episode we've ever done was called Guilt Tipping.
I listened to
All
it.
about the tipping culture in America especially. This is not a problem in Europe, apparently. I hope it doesn't spread over there.
No, that's not the culture at all. You don't. Matter of fact, it's kind of like frowned upon.
It's like if it was amazing, you give them a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Because you get a living wage. But here in America, we decided, no, make the people tip when you just ordered your black coffee and they spin around the iPad and they start complimenting you.
Yeah.
And you subconsciously feel guilty and go, the options are 20%, 40%, and 1,000% tip.
I don't know that I feel guilty, George.
Well, you're a better person than
I think I feel more irritated.
Well, I now hit no tip exclamatory.
They need to put an exclamation point. No tip, exclamation point.
Now, let's be clear. We're all about generosity here. We're not talking about not tipping your servers, not tipping your barbers. We are talking about those little iPads when you are sitting there and someone just rang you up. And you haven't
bought a salad.
You've got no service or food yet.
That's right.
And they're saying, how much do you want to tip? And the preset amounts keep increasing.
20%, 22%. One time there was one that was 33%. I saw this with my own brown eyeballs. Now, here's the thing, and you said it, George. This is very. We have to be crystal clear for the people. Restaurant service, places where you're not earning your hourly wage. Your hourly wage is tips. We support you. Matter of fact, tip those people 25%. Tip them as much as you can.
And if you can't do that, then please don't go out to eat.
Don't go out to eat. But I'm talking about I bought a salad and I haven't even gotten to see yet. Did you make it with no bacon like I asked?
I'll take the bacon, Jade. Please don't ever waste bacon.
I'll get a little side. You can have the little side thing of bacon, George.
Well, there's an article here, and this is spreading now like wildfire. The Hill covered this. Here's their headline. Why are the default tipping screens set so high? And of course, they start the article with a very clever line. Have we reached a tipping point?
Very clever. That sounds like something you might say.
We should have stolen that. That's good.
I like this part. It says, it's hard to know for sure whether more establishments are accepting or soliciting tips than, say, a decade ago. It's not hard to tell. It's not hard. We are everywhere you go. There's that little iPad. It doesn't matter if it's coffee, salad. Doesn't matter where you go. It's not hard to tell.
These quick service type places,
Yeah.
especially, that are guilty of this. And here's a quote. People think it's manipulative, they resent it, and their perceptions of service go down. And there is guilt involved. There's one ice cream place locally. I won't mention the name because I'm a big fan of their ice cream.
I know what you're talking about.
The service isn't great, but all of a sudden, when they ring you up, they get real chatty and real nice.
Okay. I don't like that. That's
they start
manipulative.
complimenting me as they're turning around. Hey, how's your day going? Oh, that's good to hear. I love that shirt. Love those glasses.
Huh. You don't believe that they love your shirt and glasses,
No,
George?
I believe they want to get in my mind subconsciously while I'm trying to choose a tip.
Nefarious.
Gross.
Man, here's where I'm at with this, George. And this is my personal take. And here's why I get frustrated / irritated. We already have inflation, right? Which is already built into the cost of our food, not just groceries, people. When you go to the restaurants, it's there. And we know that rate's somewhere around 11.4%. Then you've got the tip, 20%. And then for you people out there who are using credit cards, I hope you're not. The average credit card interest rate, 19.20%. George, do you see what I'm getting at here?
I just threw up in my mouth a little.
Do you see where I'm getting at? I'm not me, because your girl's not using credit cards.
We're not doing that.
But the people out there who are engaging in that way of life, they're paying a premium of over 50%.
Ouch.
That's why the tip screen I gotta just say no. Say no.
If you want to hear more on this topic, go check out that Smart Money Happy Hour episode called Guilt Tipping, How to Deal with an Absurd Tipping Culture. You can just search Smart Money Happy Hour wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're calling in today, we'd love to hear your thoughts on tipping culture. And if you're an iPad tipper, and if you are, why did you choose to do that? Because you're just perpetuating the problem at that point.
Yeah. Well, you could budget for it.
That is true.
There's that.
And I'm not saying I never do it. Yeah. But I'm saying in general, if there was no service provided, it's a no tip for me.
I'd rather save it for the food service workers.
Amen. All right, it's your calls, 888-825-5225. Tara joins us in Albuquerque. Tara, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. How can we help today?
Okay, so I have to refinance my house. I'm going to take $10,000 from my refinance to pay off my car because I can't afford refinancing and a car payment. But I was wondering if I should take out the additional $40,000 for a down payment on a new house so I can make my current home a rental property as another source of income.
Well, okay, a lot going on here. So what is causing you to refinance in the first place?
I'm going through a divorce.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
It's okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Is this in the final stages? Is it finalized yet?
The divorce, yeah. So this is the fine print of the divorce agreement to refinance to get his name off of the house.
Okay. And you're looking at doing a cash out refi in order to pull some money out. You want to pay off debt. You want the down payment, but you want to keep this property? That's the confusing part.
I agree.
Yes, I want to keep the property because I want to make it in all-time investment, right? But turn it into a rental home, and then, God willing, able to go further with that.
I have a question. So, with the divorce, you are able to once you give him his cut, you can sell the house, right? It doesn't say that you have to keep it or anything like that, right?
Right. No. So we had 2 homes. So he got one home. I got this home. This home just happens to be under both of our names, and the other home was just under his name.
But you're not wanting to live there.
He doesn't get any. I'm not. I do want to live there, but I would like to upgrade into a bigger home at some point.
What baby step are you on?
So I guess I'm back to baby step number 1. I don't have the only debt I have is my car and my mortgage.
Okay. So in the baby steps, Tara, we would tell you, hey, don't jump into home ownership until you're out of debt with that emergency fund. So if I'm in your shoes, I'm selling this house, I'm getting out of debt, I'm renting for a while, and then I can use that down payment later on down the road to get a primary residence. And the investment property, while it's a great goal, that is a longer term goal. You don't want to have 2 mortgages at once after going through what you've been through. So I'm taking my time with this and slowing down.
That's good, George.
This is The Ramsey Show. I'm George Campbell, joined by Jade Warshaw this hour. This is The Ramsey Show. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in, we'll talk about your life, your money, what ails you, what concerns you, how to get out of debt, how to build wealth for the future. We are here for you. Renee joins us up next in Cleveland. Renee, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Thank you so much for taking my call. Recently got married, and we got ourselves into $112,000 of debt. Yes.
Just from the wedding?
Just from the wedding.
Oh, my.
The ring,
Holy cow.
And I wasn't even invited. The party of the century, and we weren't even there, George.
Does that ring look like a disco ball?
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much that, yes.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Yes.
Well, we're here.
So I want to, other than a old college, loan debt of about $40,000, we don't have any other consumer debt. We own 3 properties together, one fully paid off, probably worth about $600 to $700K. The other 2 have mortgages on it, and my husband has about $395 in stocks and bonds.
Oh, okay.
That's
So there's good news here, which is you guys have a pile of money to clean this up. The question is he willing to cash out those stocks and bonds to put you guys in a place financially that will cause you to succeed in this marriage?
That's the $1,000,000 question. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It's okay.
Hey, we're here with you. We've all done stupid stuff with many, many zeros attached. So we were poking fun at you earlier, but we definitely know the weight of what you're facing right now, and we're definitely here to walk with you.
Are those tears because of the arguments you guys have had around this?
Yes.
What has the latest conversations been like when you bring this up and say, "Hey, we're in a big pile of debt. I want to get out of this"?
Well, the other thing is that the day after we returned from our wedding weekend, he lost his job.
Oh.
And he was making over $200K a year.
Okay, Renee.
And how long ago was this?
About a month ago.
Okay.
Are you working at all, Renee?
I am, yes.
What is your
income? I make a fraction of
That's
what
all
he
right.
was making.
So
70K.
That's
a great income.
Okay.
What's he doing right now? Is he currently looking for work?
Yes.
Okay. What was he doing?
Yes, he was in the automobile industry.
Okay.
I have a question. Question about these properties. So you mentioned 3 properties, 1 paid off, 2 with mortgages. The one that's paid off, is that your primary residence, or is that?
It is not. It's just a vacation home.
Okay, so that's the vacation home. So that means the other 2 with mortgages, one of those is your primary residence?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you tell me the numbers on that, like what the mortgage is worth and what you owe?
Sure. So let me actually pull that up because I've since had, we've had some serious conversations.
Yeah, what I'm getting at is getting rid of at least one of these mortgages, not the primary residence one, and clearing up some money there. And George mentioned the stocks and bonds. If they're non-retirement related, definitely wanting to liquidate those. Okay. So that's what we're getting at.
So the one that we currently live in probably has about $235K on it, worth about maybe $350.
Okay.
The other one with a mortgage is actually in another state, and it has a much higher. It probably has about 200 in equity, 200K in equity, but the mortgage is about $550.
Yeah, and this is what I would do if I were in your shoes. If I woke up in your shoes today, I would get rid of that third property that's got the $200K in equity. Okay. And I would take that money and I would use it to start paying off this I'd for sure knock out the student loan because it's just the student loan and the wedding debt, correct? That's your only debts?
Correct.
I would knock out that student loan. I'd keep $1,000 aside for any savings in case you don't have baby step 1. And then whatever's left, I throw it towards the wedding. And then if there's any debt left, I'd start liquidating some of those stocks.
Okay. Now, thank you for that. I guess because of the location of the third property, we've been probably bringing in about $200K, my apologies, $2K in rental income. That's per month.
The one that's out of state?
Correct. Yeah, just because it's in a good location. The one that's got the $200K.
Is that your net profit? Or is that
maybe?
Because you still got to pay the mortgage on that.
Correct. That's my net profit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. It's good that you're making a profit on it. My concern is that it's out of state. And then my bigger concern is that you called us in tears because of his debt. So at that point, you're really weighing the opportunity cost between the two. Do you want to get out of debt? How quickly can we get out of debt? The other thing that I'm hearing in this call is, and George, correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of feels like we can give you our take on this and we can say, hey, this is what we think you need to do. But your husband being on page with this is the other part. Do you think that if he comes home tonight, or if you guys have this conversation and say, hey, I was talking with some experts, here is the plan that they have advised us to follow, what do you think his response is going to be?
Well, he'll be happy because it's my property.
Oh.
That's his.
So he's like, well, that's your business. Don't try to sell one of mine.
Exactly.
But that worries me because you're married now. It's our properties.
Correct.
And so I want him thinking that way. And if he's not, we have a deeper issue here. But as far as liquidating the stocks and bonds, there is going to be tax implications on the gain. So you want to work with a tax pro on that to make sure that you're going to be able to cover this and understand what's going on there. But as far as this property goes, I don't want to be a long-distance landlord. I mean, this is a lot of work for $20K.
I agree.
And so if this cleans up all of your consumer debt and gives you a pile of money at the end of that, which is your fully funded emergency fund. So this one property puts you in a completely different place financially if you sell it.
Absolutely. And I wanted to ask, just because, I'm always thinking about the baby steps, do you have any other money saved, like just laying around saved up for a rainy day, 3 to 6 months, anything like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. About $45K.
So here, think about it like this, Renee. If you follow the advice that we've given you, you're still going to be millionaires. You've got this vacation home that's worth $700. You've got your primary real estate that's worth $350. Just right there alone, you're net worth millionaires. All right. And then, I don't know how much is in the stocks and bonds that you have. You may not have to liquidate all of that. But do you see what I'm saying?
About 390.
Oh, come on now. So this is great.
If I'm in your shoes, I am selling that third property and cashing out the stocks and bonds, making sure I can pay the taxes on that. And that's going to put you guys in a completely different place because you can pay off the other mortgage. Now you have zero payments in the world and everything is cash flowing with 100% profit going to you.
Yeah.
With very little stress in your life as newlyweds.
I know, that's right. Suddenly you're wiping those tears and you're rejoicing because you're suddenly ahead of 90% of the people out here. Do you see that?
Yes. Yes.
Now we need him to see it.
Yeah. Hey, send him this call.
I'm going to. I sent him the link and I said, hey, honey, I'm going to be on the Dave Ramsey Show, so listen to this, please.
That's good.
So hopefully he did. But I do like the solution, I'll be honest. I've been afraid to let go of that because it is mine. It's the only property that I actually own, and it's been a cash cow for me for a long time. But you're right, when you put it in perspective and say only $20,000 a year, like, forget it.
You make over triple that.
And you can always get another property. That's the thing. The way we're setting you up, you'll be able to, if you want to purchase more real estate, you'll be able to do it. You'll be able to cash flow it. And it's going to be a blessing, not a burden.
And he's going to be back to work in no time, making great money. But right now, this is a great moment for you guys to reset, clean slate. This is we now. How are we going to set ourselves up financially for a successful marriage, for successful wealth building for the future? And this is a way to do it. And it's a good problem to have when you have all this money sitting around in different pockets. Put it to good use and make yourself free. More of your calls coming up, 888-825-5225. This is The Ramsey Show.
I say it all the time. If you're a business owner and you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And when markets are shifting, it's even more important. You've got to know where you stand so you make your next move the right move. And you don't have to be in the dark here. Over 31,000 businesses, including my team at Ramsey, know their numbers because they use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, planning, budgeting, and inventory so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Having everything in one place has saved my team hours each week since we made the switch to NetSuite. NetSuite is a game changer. So head on over to netsuite.com/Ramsey to get a product tour today. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
Open phones at 888-825-5225. This is The Ramsey Show. Our question of the day is coming up here, and it is from Brittany in Kentucky. What does Brittany have to say, Jade?
Brittany in Kentucky says this: I'm currently on baby step 2, but I'm having a hard time reconciling the debt snowball on credit cards that can be paid off over time without interest accruing as long as I pay them off before the end of the interest-free promo. But I was hoping to use the avalanche on my loans, not my credit cards. In my mind, I'd rather pay extra money on the interest-heavy loans and diligently pay off my credit cards, thus taking advantage of the interest-free promos. Side note, I've cut up all my credit cards and I'm sticking to my zero budget diligently. Could you help me understand the best course of action?
It sounds like Brittany wants to do her own course of action personally.
Well, yeah, she's working her own plan.
So what she's talking about here is the avalanche method of paying off debt, which says pay the highest interest debts first and make your way down regardless of the balance. The debt snowball method, which is the one that we've taught here for 30 years now, is pay off the smallest balance first regardless of the interest rate.
That's right.
Which, makes you scratch your brain when you go, well, it's 0% interest. Why would I even pay that off?
From my experience, and I believe the experience of the millions of people who have worked the baby steps and used, the debt snowball as their method, we've learned that, when it comes to money, Dave says it all the time, it's 80% behavior, 20% head knowledge, right? And so there's something that builds up in our behavior when we're working the debt snowball. For me, it was about getting those quick wins, right, George? When you put them from smallest to largest, you're able to knock out those small debts quick, and you feel like, oh my gosh, I can do this. You start to believe that you can actually pay off your debt.
And, we've said that personal finance is 80% behavior, 20% head knowledge. And the people who are making these arguments, they're focusing on the head knowledge. But I'm always going, if this isn't a life hack to try to take advantage of the 0%, you got yourself in a pile of debt. And so if you were so astute and disciplined to pay off the highest interest rate first, you wouldn't have gotten into debt in the first place.
That's right, George.
So there's a whole nother mentality here going like, I'm going to hack the system that I trap myself in.
Yeah.
And so we found, and it's not just a Dave thing, it's not just Dave Ramsey says, and yeah, millions of people have done it. If that's not enough for you, there are new studies from Harvard Business Review, from Texas A&M, saying the debt snowball method works better.
That's right. If Harvard says it, I'm biting.
And here's the direct quote. Snowballing your debts, this is from Chicago Tribune. Paying them smallest to largest, regardless of finance charges, might not make sense mathematically, but it just might work better according to their new academic study. And so this isn't anecdotal because we meet these people. I haven't met someone who's like, I am an avalanche debt-free screamer. I just don't meet them.
I don't meet them either.
And I think it's because it's harder to gain traction, and so you stay in the process longer. And yes, on paper, you would pay less interest if you could do the avalanche method with discipline. But the truth is, we are human beings, and we need that progress. We are wired to feel that progress.
We need to feel the win. And it's tough because when we think about money, our mind goes directly to the numbers. It goes to the math. But in a lot of cases, money is not mostly about the math. It's mostly about your mindset and you feeling like you're winning and you feeling like you can succeed. And definitely the debt snowball sets you up for that.
Yeah, staring at a giant pile of debt that has the high interest rate and going, all right, I got to tackle this one first. It's like me starting running by going, all right, I'm going to run a marathon and then work my way backwards to the 5K.
Oh, gosh.
That doesn't make sense. So why do we do that with our money? End quote. That's it. Well, hey, thank you for the question, Brittany. I encourage you to use the debt snowball method and come here and do your debt-free scream and share your story because it works every time you work it.
It does.
That's all I got to say about that. All right, let's go to Stacy in Sacramento. She is waiting there. Stacy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for taking my question.
Absolutely. How's it going?
Well, good. I'm sort of at a crossroad and just hopefully need some guidance and support here. I'm married, live in California, as you mentioned, Sacramento area. We have no kids. We're in our early and mid-40s. We make about $230,000 combined gross income. We don't have any debt except for our home. When I say homes, because we just recently purchased a home in this worst time of the year. At any rate, I used about $235,000. Oh, did I mention? I'm sorry. I'm also at baby step 4 of 7.
Great.
I used about $235,000 in my personal savings that I had put down on the new house that I will get back once we sell our old house because it's currently on the market.
Okay.
And so once I get, once we net out the $235,000 back to me from the old house, we should have about a $250,000 profit left over.
Okay.
So, with having 2 mortgages and 2, utilities, we've been stretching ourselves pretty thin this last couple months.
I bet.
So, yeah, it's been tough, and especially in California when everything feels like it's tripled. I'm sure it has everywhere else, but
is it looking good for that home sale? I mean, how long has it been on the market?
A month and a half.
Okay.
It's been on the market for a month and a half, so it's looking. We don't have an offer yet, so. But it's killing us because we've got a higher interest rate on this new home, on this 30-year fixed loan, 30-year fixed home loan, and we just really want to pay off the new home loan ASAP. So I guess where I'm sort of questioning is how once we do sell the old home and we get the $250,000 profit, I'm curious to know if you recommend whether or not we apply that to the current loan, the current new home loan, and then roll the dice with Fannie Mae to recast the loan. Or should we just wait to apply that $250,000 profit to a refinance, maybe in 18 to 24 months when the interest rate gets lower than 6.5%, which is what we got.
Well, if you were going to refinance, I would want you to refinance to a 15-year.
Right.
Would that payment be too much for you guys? It would be more than 25% of your take-home pay?
It'd probably be closer to 30 or 40 maybe, but...
What if you use the $250 to pay down the mortgage, and then later down the line you could refinance to the 15-year if you wanted to, and it made sense financially?
I like that idea, George.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, that might be a possibility.
You also could just pay the 30 like a 15 and pay like a 10, pay like a 7.
Well,
I mean,
you could
how quickly could you do this?
You're kind of re-engineering the whole idea because ideally they would have sold the old house first, gotten their $250 and then purchased the new house. And my guess is that if you had gotten the money in that order, you would have put a lot more of that money to this new house. So I kind of like George's idea of taking that money, putting it to the house when you sell it, and then, when the time is right to refinance, you're just in a better situation.
What's your current mortgage? What's left on the loan?
What's on the old house or
on the new one? The 30-year fixed.
On the new one, it's $4,150 a month.
What's the total loan?
$545,000.
Okay, so if you applied the $250, that would take you down to about $300 left.
Correct.
And then you guys are making $230. How quickly could you pay off $300,000 making $230 with no debt?
That's a good point.
A few years, right?
Yeah, I think when we netted out the amortization schedule, something like 8.5 years or so. But yeah, I mean, I guess
if you want to get inspired, Stacy, go to our website, RamseySolutions.com, and use our early payoff calculator under the tools section and start to play around with the numbers. And once you start to see that, you can't unsee it.
I know that's
when
right.
You're like, oh, we put $4,000 a month towards that extra on top of them. Well, we could be debt. We could be, before we turn 50, completely debt-free and baby steps millionaires with a paid-for house in California. Do you know how crazy and weird that would be?
Ooh-wee, I like the sound of that.
And then guess what? We can retire early. Instead of having to work until we're 65, what if we could retire at 55? What would we do? Where would we go? What could we buy? How much could we give? That's where life starts to get exciting.
What do you think, Stacy?
That makes a lot of sense. It's just, yeah, absolutely.
I think you should, I think you need to go for it. I think you need to take George's advice here and start dreaming a little. Get rid of that, take that money, throw it to the house. Man.
Here's the good news, Stacy. If you regret it, you can always go get another mortgage. The banks are happy to give you more debt. But I have a strong feeling that when you have no payments in the world, you're going to be on cloud 9 going, I'm good. I'm glad with the decision we made. So we're cheering you on. You guys are in a great spot. We're rooting for you to become completely debt-free. This is The Ramsey Show. This is The Ramsey Show. While most of you are probably glad to rid of 2022, it was just hard enough to keep gas in the car, food in the fridge, and money may still be tight for so many of you out there. And you're wondering, is this year going to be any different? Is it going to be more struggle, more anxiety? Well, good news for you. You do not have to live through another year of stress and worry. And that's why we want you to tune in to our free live stream called Building Wealth in 2023, happening this week, this Thursday night, because we want to show you that you can still make progress on your goals, you can build wealth, you can have peace with money, even in this crazy economy. During this event, you'll hear from myself, Rachel Cruz, Dave Ramsey, John Deloney, Ken Coleman, and we're going to talk about how to set goals, how to create margins so that you can build wealth this year. We're going to have some fun as well, some fun surprises planned, and you are going to leave fired up for 2023, and this is a great event to share with your friends because, let me remind you, it is free, and you can live stream it from anywhere in the world. So guys, even if the economy feels out of control this year, you don't have to feel out of control. Register for the free live stream at RamseySolutions.com/wealth. That's RamseySolutions.com/wealth. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jet joins us in Lubbock, Texas. Jet, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. How are you? Man, big fan, so very honored to be on the show.
Oh, we appreciate that. We are honored to have you. How can we help today?
Yeah, so I've been, hard time doing, or I've done all the steps pretty much except for number 6.
Great.
Recently married, so I've been married for about 5 months. I'm 24, she's 21. She's got another semester of college left. We're fully paying that with cash.
Awesome.
And we're looking to move. We're feeling very led to kind of get out of Lubbock. We've been there our whole lives, and the Lord's pushing us to move. And my question for y'all in this time, is it better to, when you do move, if we're starting a family in a new city, would you start looking for a house and really build a family in a house and put all your money into that? Or is it time to rent and stay there for a year or two and then try to buy a house?
Yeah, you're newly married, you're going to a new city. If it's me, I'm going to rent for a little while. I'm going to rent. I'm going to get to know the area, find out if this is really, do we like this area? You might get there and after 6 months be like, oh man, that other side of town, that's really the place to be, and I definitely think that that's the wiser choice because once you buy, you're locked in and it's expensive to move. It's expensive to sell. So renting in this case, I think George that's the choice I'd make.
Absolutely. And it turns out babies, they don't need a lot of space and they don't know the difference between a rental and a home. And so that's the good news while they're young. And so I love that you're thinking that far ahead going, hey, we want to start a family. I want you to be a homeowner, but I'm with Jade on this. I'm going to rent somewhere, sign a 6-month lease, a 12-month lease. You can always renew. And the key here is, what are we doing to get ourselves in a position to get a home the right way where it's not a stressor, it's a blesser.
That's right. And George is right. Jet, you guys have been very smart. You're in baby step 6. I mean, this is excellent. You should have plenty of money to start saving up for a great down payment. You've got time. You're not in a rush. And if that's the one thing that you leave coming off of this call is, hey, there's no rush.
The next goal is how much of a down payment can we save? Mm-hmm. And here's what that does, by the way. When you take your time and you have the patience and you build up this big down payment and you can put 20% or more down and your mortgage is now less than a quarter of your take-home pay,
yes.
Here's what that does. When your wife wants to stay home one day with the baby, it's not even a conversation. You just go, okay, cool. We just got to adjust the budget. Nothing much is going to change. We can cover it. But when you are up to your eyeballs with a mortgage for a house you barely can afford on that 30-year, and one person says, I want to stay home, you guys go, you can't breathe at that point. And so just put yourself in a position where you have that kind of those kinds of options. That is my goal for you guys as a newlywed couple.
That makes sense. I like that. And that's kind of where we are. I've got great savings. She has great savings. And, we're able to put a very hefty down payment on. But we just are like, I think we should rent and see the area. And so y'all are definitely clarifying and affirming my thoughts and our thoughts.
I love it. Well, number one, Jet, you're going to have to ignore a lot of the voices that are going to be coming your way from friends and family going, Jet, what are you doing, man? You should be a homeowner. It's such a sin to rent. You're throwing away money out the window. Those people can shove it because they don't get a say when it comes to your money in your life. They're not experiencing the stress that you feel. And especially as a newlywed couple, you guys are figuring out life.
That's
right.
right.
To add home ownership on top of that as a whole nother layer, that is very stressful.
I feel like that's been a theme. Home ownership, what to do with the mortgage, how to buy the mortgage, how to save for the mortgage. I feel like that's been a theme this hour.
Well, that American dream of home ownership, turns out it's a lot more complicated than we thought. It's more stressful. It's more expensive than we thought. And it's something that I want for everyone, but it has a time and a place.
That's right. And I think, what you said is true, but you can eliminate some of the stress out of it. You can eliminate some of the fear, some of the remorse out of home buying if you follow the principles that we teach when it comes to buying a home. That 15-year fixed mortgage, that is everything. And I know people struggle with that because for some people it means
the payment's higher on the 15-year.
Well, you know what? That's because that's what you can afford.
But
it might
it's a
mean
bigger
that
number,
you have
Jay.
to get less house.
I want the smaller number.
Well, you know what? That's what's wrong with our spending culture is we try to get as much as we possibly can and we end up in debt up to our eyeballs.
Give me all the small numbers added up and you're still broke.
Yeah, man. Just pull back. Buy what you can afford. The whole goal, right, is for us to be debt-free.
Absolutely.
We want to get to that quickly.
Good stuff. All right, Charles is up next in Asheville, North Carolina. Charles, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Such a great honor to talk to you.
You as well. How can we help today?
Me and my wife, we're both 73, and we've got some rental homes. We've been married 8 years. We both got married after our spouses died of cancer. We've been married 8 years, but we've been nursing these rental properties. You know how that is, one thing after the other. And we just decided, hey, we don't want to do this anymore. It's working us to death. So we got rid of one rental property, and we've got the two other ones that are for sale, and we've had good looking, a lot of people looking at them.
Good.
So we're just trying to figure out what to do. We're going to end. Those two houses are going to be pretty much a wash because we got capital gains and, so forth. But we're going to end up with at least $100,000 to invest or to, do something else with. We want to do our tithes and offering and be able to help other people, and that's what we're trying to get to. And so we're trying to figure out at this stage of our life, we're both in good health, but we just want to be able to go with. We've got no debt. All our credit cards and everything we're doing plastic surgery on them, and so we're in a good place.
Are all the properties paid off?
The two rental houses that are for sale now are not paid off. They have mortgage against them, and so that's what we say. Once those two are sold, they'll be,
you'll be completely debt free.
Yeah.
Do you have any other money in retirement?
We don't. We bought this house in Waynesville. This is our retirement home, 960 square feet, and it's paid for.
What's it worth?
I own a house in Burlington, North Carolina, which is my mother's house. She has lifetime rights, and once she passes and she can't live there anymore, then we'll sell it, and that'll be more additional income coming in later. She's 101, so
wow,
she's holding on.
I don't know. Are both of you retired? None of you are working?
Yeah, we're both retired and tired, but we are retired, yeah.
Well, so all of these rental properties, this is your only income. Do you have any Social Security? Is there anything else coming in? What's your monthly income?
Our monthly income from Social Security is $5,300.
Okay, and is that more than enough for you guys to live once these properties are paid off?
Yeah, our debt, our monthly expenses run about $2,000 a month.
Okay. Well, if you've got $100,000 and you've got no debt, including any of these properties, there are multiple ways you can invest this. One outside of retirement is just in a brokerage account, in an index fund or a mutual fund, and at an average return. Let's say you get 8 or let's say 10% on $100,000 for easy round numbers. Well, that's $10,000 a year that you can pull away from that, hopefully without pulling away the principal too much. So that's one option for you, Charles. And I would connect with a SmartVestor Pro because we are down to we got to really figure out how to maximize this money. And so I would work with one of our SmartVestor Pros at RamseySolutions.com to make the most of that money so that you guys can have a great retirement with the money you've got. And hopefully these properties can do that for you once they're paid off and cash flowing. Thanks so much for the call. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. My thanks to my co-host, Jade Warshaw, all the guys in the booth, and you, America. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back real soon. Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio, it's The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life and your money. I'm George Camel, joined by Jade Warshaw this hour, and we are taking your calls, America, at this number, 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Hatton kicks us off this hour in Oklahoma City. Hatton, welcome to The Ramsey Show. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you all doing?
We're doing good.
How can we help today?
Yes, I had gotten myself into a little bit of into debt to the tune of about $7,300, but as of right now, it looks like I'll have that loan paid off in mid-February.
Cool.
So, I guess my question is, I've pretty much been trying to go scorched earth at it for the last several weeks, and I'm getting married in September. So how
Congratulations.
Thank you. How can I start my marriage off and make sure that it is going to be successful financially, because I don't want to end up in a situation like this again. And I also wanted to factor in that I will be graduating from college this coming April.
Wonderful.
Exciting.
That's really exciting. How old are you?
24.
24.
What are you graduating from? What degree? What are we talking?
I am graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Ministry and Bible from Amherst University in Montgomery, Alabama. Should be graduating summa cum laude.
Very
Love it.
cool. Very cool. So,
Are you planning on going into ministry, being a pastor, or what?
I'm actually working with a church down in southwestern Oklahoma now.
Cool.
I love it. Is your bride-to-be, does she have any debt?
No, she will not have any debt coming in.
Very good.
Is she coming in with any kind of assets or money, savings?
She will have a savings account, yes, that she'll be bringing over.
Good woman. That's fantastic.
Very cool.
You're alluding to how to set yourself up already, which is get out of debt and have a pile of money in the bank. That is going to cause the least amount of money fights and money problems as you guys start this life together.
Absolutely. And having the same views on debt, too. You know, it sounds like both of you value a debt-free lifestyle. And so coming into the marriage on the same page as far as what your values are surrounding money. I think, you guys you've set yourself up. I think you're going to get rid of this loan for $7,300 lickety split. Your wife's got no debt. And I think as long as you continue to operate your life like that, no debt, follow the baby steps, you're going to be calling back here in, 12 years, 16 years, whatever the time is, you're going to be a baby steps millionaire.
Absolutely. And you guys plan on cash flowing this wedding, I assume.
Yes, we have all of our bigger ticket items paid for now, and we're just going to try to cash flow the rest. And I'm also going to be going on for graduate degrees, but by the time I get this loan paid off, I'll be able to cash flow all the way through with scholarships and all this kind of a thing.
That's awesome.
Is that what the loan was for? It was for school?
No, it was a personal loan because I'd run up some debt on a credit card, and I had taken it out to get out from under a higher interest rate.
I
so
see.
I got it down to about 6.5%, and I just made about another $1,150 worth of payments on the loan, and it's down to about $2,100 now.
Good. And you cut up the credit card, right?
Yes.
Is the account closed?
I have not closed it yet, but I'm going to be getting on the phone. I just closed an account
Shut her
that I had
down.
with one place, and I'm going to be getting ready to, yes.
Good.
Yeah, do that today, Hatton.
That was one of the best decisions I made, was cutting up those cards. And
I know that's
I
right.
thought they were a blessing to me because of the airline miles and the cash back and the credit score. I didn't need it, and you don't either, Hatton. You guys are doing great, and I want to gift you Financial Peace University as a premarital counseling gift. It's one of the best tools to get on the same page, have common goals, common language to talk about money. So I want to gift you 1 year of that. Watch online lessons with your bride-to-be, and that will set you up for success, my man. Thanks for the call. All right, Abby's up next in Boise. Abby, welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you?
We're doing good.
Great. How can we help?
So I am just calling. I am hospice nurse and also a director for 2 branches here in Idaho. And I recently started following Dave Ramsey. And so now am wanting to get out from under the debt that I have. Mm-hmm. With that being said, I am a salaried employee. And so I have a cap on the income I bring in, obviously. And so looking into it, being a nurse, there are a lot of different options. And I have found an option that I could get an additional certificate and kind of pave the way for making kind of whatever it is that I'm willing to put in. Now, with that being said, trying to get debt free, this is going to take another probably about $7,000 to $8,000 in order to get this licensure. And so I was wondering if that is something I should do now, or if I should wait until I get out of debt to do that.
How much are you making right now?
Household income is about $188,000 a year.
180?
Uh-huh.
And that's you and your husband combined?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just double checking.
This feels like a both and to me. I think you can continue paying on the debt, but set aside some money to get this certification. How much would it increase your income by?
Well, again, that's going to depend on how much I work, and I'm a worker. So it could be anywhere from, an additional, 25 to $5,000 a month, or the sky is the limit, and it could replace what I do now, other than this is my love. So I want to add to it. Don't really want to step out of it, but I do want to have some options, because salary is just hard for me, because I know I work 60 hours a week. And, you've got the cap.
Well, how much debt do you guys have?
So we just purchased a home in March, and so we've got the home debt of about $550,000, and then I've got about $5,000 in credit cards, and I owe about $18,000 on my Forerunner.
And that's all the debt that you have between both you and your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
So you got 23 in consumer debt. We can clean that up in a few months, right?
Very quick.
Oh, for sure.
And so once here's my goal for you.
I would do the debt first.
I'm cleaning off this $23,000 in consumer debt. I'm going to save that emergency fund and get that certification and cash flow that. Mm-hmm. And you'll be able to do that all within the next, 6 to 9 months?
Should be.
Well, here's the other thing. I'm sitting on about a $30,000 money market account.
Abby,
I was
don't bury the lead.
And still,
what are you doing with the savings account?
Until I started listening to Dave.
Okay.
What am I? What?
So let's do it like this. Let's do the baby steps in order. So let's keep out of that $30,000 that you have in the money market account. Let's keep $1,000 set aside for baby step 1. Let's put everything else on your debt. Clean up your $23,000 there, and then you should have plenty.
6 left over.
Yeah,
still.
plenty left over to start you on your 3 to 6 months, and then get that built up, and then definitely cash flow this certification. It sounds like it's gonna ROI in spades.
Oh, and you freed up those payments at that point, and so within a few months, you could be completely debt free with a fully funded emergency fund and cash flow the certification.
That's good.
That's the path I'm going down, Abby. That is awesome. Good for you. This is The Ramsey Show.
Life is full of firsts. As the first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts.
This is The Ramsey Show. And about this time of year, we get flooded with calls on this show because everyone is looking for a fresh start with their money, especially after a tough couple of years. So if that's you, you can't wish for things to change and just expect it to happen. You've got to do some things differently when it comes to money. You've got to have a plan, and we've got the perfect plan for you in Financial Peace University. This is the course that will help you rethink how you manage your money, and you will learn step by step how to pay off debt and how to build wealth. And nearly 10 million people have taken FPU, followed this plan, and changed their lives. I'm one of those people. Jade is one of those people. This stuff works. Don't try to reinvent it. Don't try to do your own plan. We got the plan for you. And when you intentionally follow this with focus intensity, this year will be different. You will have more peace in your finances and your life. So start Financial Peace University right now at RamseySolutions.com/FPU. That's RamseySolutions.com/FPU.
Man, I hope people take advantage of this, and I hope they sign up for the class, George, because it is a true life changer.
It's one of those where, like, when it comes to working out, you're saying, oh, this is going to be the year I start working out.
Yeah.
And then it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
This is one of those where, like, you get in the boot camp and you're around other people
man.
and you're like, this is actually, I'm having a good time. I'm fired up.
Yeah.
I want to show up again next week.
You got to show up. And I got to tell people, this plan, it works when you work it. You can't log in and only do one class. You got to finish it through. You got to do all the classes, see it through till the end, and follow it. Don't make up your own method now, because once you start making up your own method, that's when you go by the wayside. Believe me, I tried it.
And, after the 9 weeks of watching all the videos, going through the lessons, doing a budget, if you hate it and you thought your life before was so much better, you can always go back to that.
You can always go back. And that's the thing. Do the courses. You can do the courses on your own in your own time. If you can get into a group, like a coordinated group, I love that method as well.
That's the best setting.
Matter of fact, George, I know that I am going to coordinate an FPU class.
All right.
I'm going to. I want
you said
as
it
many
live
people
in front
to
of
sign.
America.
I need to see how many people are interested, George, because look, I'll do it whether it's 10 or 10,000. Okay.
Well, you're talking to way more than that right now. It feels like you have an unfair advantage to get people in this class.
Look,
who wouldn't sign up for the class with Jade?
Well, I don't know. If you're interested,
the real competition is who would sign up for my class versus your class. That is not a bet I'm willing to
George,
wager.
Are you trying to take me on, George?
No, I would never compete against you, Jade.
Are you trying to step to me? You should step to me. Let's do it.
You're too competitive for me. I would just let you win the game just because it would make us both lose.
We could do it together, George. We could coordinate a class.
Well, no matter who's coordinating, go through this class. RamseySolutions.com.
Change your life.
FPU. Love it. All right, open phones at 888-825-5225. Byron joins us up next in Colorado Springs. Byron, welcome to the show.
Hey there, guys. Really appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, here's the situation. Kind of lost a lot of money in the stock market, put my family in debt. I've got a wife and 3 kids, so kind of disappointed what happened. But long story short, during the stock market boom, and I believe it was 2018, 2020, with GameStop and AMC, kind of got into the stock market with that, made a lot of money through the options trading of the stock market, and didn't really know what I was doing. So I brought 60,000 to about 130,000 and then lost it all. And so that's kind of where it gets a little bit fishy too. I started trying to make it back, took out a $25K loan, put it in the stock market, lost it all. And that's kind of where we're at today. I've got a car loan for about $40K. We're about $7K in medical debt, $5,500 in a credit card payment, and we've also got our mortgage to pay for. So I really dug myself in a hole, guys, and really looking for help right now.
I'm sorry to hear about this, man. You touched about the hottest stove you could touch, and I hope you are done with playing with single stocks and options trading especially, which is one of the riskiest versions of trading there is out there.
Yeah, I'm done with that completely now.
What's your income?
$120K per year.
Okay. And is that household? Is your wife working outside the home?
No, she is a stay-at-home mother.
Okay. What kind of work do you do?
Engineering, defense contracting.
Cool. Is there any opportunity to work more to clean this up?
Yeah, I would be willing to look into that. I guess I don't really know what would be feasible with time and opportunity costs. I haven't really explored that option.
And that $25K, was that a personal loan? How'd you take that out to use in the stock
Personal
market?
loan, correct.
Okay. So if I'm adding this up correctly, are we talking about close to $80K or so in debt, consumer debt?
I think after we calculated, we're around $98K, actually. I probably might have left a few things out of there.
Okay. One option is to get rid of the car, because that would clear $40K. Yeah. That would clean up half your debt tomorrow. What is the car worth?
Okay. Right now, we currently own about $40K on it. I believe I checked out CarMax, and their cash now offer is about $35,000, I believe.
Okay. Do some more homework on that. Check with a bunch of different dealerships. Check private party value. Because if you can get $40K for that, and you got any money in the bank? Anything in savings?
No. Just
anything non-retirement?
Yeah, I was going to ask, is the stock money completely gone? There's nothing left?
It's completely gone.
Okay.
All right. So that puts you at this baby step one, which is we got to get $1,000 in the bank as soon as possible. Do you have that?
Next paycheck, yes, we can do that.
Okay. Beyond that, we're going to start to pay off all of these debts, smallest to largest, regardless of interest rates. And the car obviously would help clean this up. Even if you took a small loss on it, it would clean this up. Obviously, you need another car. Do you guys have another vehicle you could use, or could you buy a cheap $5,000 car?
Yeah, we've got family in town, and I'm sure we could definitely use one of their cars for a bit.
Because right now it feels overwhelming, and I think getting rid of this car would emotionally and financially benefit you, and you can always get that car later and do it with cash and do it the right way.
Okay.
So that is one thing you could do. I'm just giving you options here. Are you currently investing at all in anything?
We have our retirement account. That's untouched, so it's...
How much have you been contributing to that?
So I guess before I lost everything at the stock market, I was doing the company match. So that was about 8%. But then when everything kind of went down, I stopped contributing and just tried to start using all the money to pay the debt. So we're not doing that anymore.
Okay. Let's keep that paused until we get rid of all this consumer debt and we have a fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months. Now, the good news is you have a great income. You make $120K and you've got $98,000 in debt. Now, if we clean up the car, that leaves you with about $58,000. Mm-hmm. And now you're going, all right, I make $120K and I got $58,000 to pay off. How quickly could we do that? How much could you set aside from your income, having paused all the investments, probably, $30,000, $40K a year towards this debt?
Yeah. I guess my only concern would be our mortgage is currently $3,000 a month. So it's a pretty big chunk.
And what's your take-home pay?
$7,200.
That's a hefty chunk. Mm-hmm. And that's on a 30-year?
Yes.
Yeah,
you're looking, that's 42%. Uh-huh. We need to get this income up ASAP.
Yeah. Suddenly selling the car is not an option. We need to do that.
This is a necessity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because right now you're not going to have a lot of margin to throw at the debt if half of your income is going towards the mortgage alone.
That's right, Byron. You're going to have to do everything you can. You're going to have to work more. And I know we talked about it earlier, and it was like, oh, what's the opportunity cost? At this point, it doesn't matter. You need to be working 80 hours a week. If your wife can pick up work, if she can do something inside of the home to earn money, you guys have really got to get that income up. Here's the good news. You've got a lot of small debts, so you're going to be able to feel those wins quicker. I hate debt, but I like when it's broken up like this because you can feel the wins.
And you start doing a budget, man, we're going to give to you 1 year of every dollar premium to get on a plan. You're going to start selling stuff. You're going to start finding money in the couch cushions. The kids are going to get involved. This is going to be a family affair to get this debt out of our lives once and for all. And you'll never look back, man. You'll never dip your toes in those waters again.
He learned his lesson.
Of those volatile single stocks. And man, that's a tough situation.
If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Visit Blinds.com to save up to 40% off everything site-wide. Go to Blinds.com for more information.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm George Camel, joined this hour by Jade Warshaw. We're taking your calls at 888-825-5225. Well, Jade, last week we were talking taxes, talking about all the tax changes, talking about why refunds are a bad idea.
Yes.
And then some fans sent us this, and it is from H&R Block. Mm-hmm. Here's their big headline on their site. Up to $3,500 could be yours within minutes of filing. Apply for a refund advance loan at the end of your tax prep, and you could get up to $3,500 the same day you file.
Why do I hate this already?
0% APR, no loan fees, no credit score impact.
I hate that
deal.
they're making this about it. They're using like credit and credit card language and all that.
You know what it reminds me of is that old like J.G. Wentworth, like, it's my money and I want it now. Like, it's that vibe.
George.
There's such a lack of patience in today's society that we're like, I know I'm getting my refund in April, which, by the way, is just a loan to the government, interest-free.
Okay.
Not a gift. And on top of that, they're like, I can't wait until April because I'm so broke and need the money so desperately, and HR Block is going to be my shining knight on the
savior.
horse.
I hate this.
To save the day.
I hate this for a lot of reasons, George. It's really just perpetuating a unhealthy mindset about money. It really is.
And the way it works, if you're wondering, if you're approved, the loan funds are loaded onto an H&R Block prepaid MasterCard, which technically is a debit card, but it doesn't act like a debit card in the ways you might think, because in the fine print, which you know I check, there's a link to the fee schedule. They don't even put the fee schedule under the FAQ, under the drop down. They put it on a whole other page.
Give us the fine print.
And oh my goodness, I mean, it would take me hours to read this off.
Give us the high level.
$5 for a cash reload fee. There's a 4% check to card fee. $3 for ATM withdrawals. $35 for over-the-counter withdrawals. $150 if you do an ATM balance inquiry. $150 for ATM decline. $5 for inactivity. $35 if you lose your card.
I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad right now, George, because
broke people are needing this, and so their answer is to nickel and then dime them to keep them broke.
This was your money. This refund was already your money. You already loaned it to the government at 0%, and now they're loaning it back to you, and they're charging you for it.
It's insane. And here's
insanity.
What they say. You don't pay until your refund arrives. You can wait to repay your loan until the IRS delivers your refund, and when it's time to repay it, we've got options.
Well,
what does that mean? That's pretty open-ended.
Why don't you just wait anyway? Why don't you just wait? This is pointing to
This is America, Jade. I don't wait for nothing.
Well, you gonna learn today.
Prime now.
No. I hate this. I just
2-hour delivery, 30 minutes or it's free. That's
my
the America
money.
I live in.
I will wait to get all of my money. And if you're in such dire straits that you got to take out a loan or whatever this is to get your refund advance, and I hate the way they say it. They try to make it so positive. Refund advance. To get your money early, and then, all those list of fees that why can't you just wait? Why can't you just get your stuff in line, file your taxes as early as possible, which means you get your refund as early as possible, and just wait to have your money? And better yet, like George said, adjust your withholding and take that money and just add it to your monthly checks so you can just leave all of this in the dust behind you.
Amen.
What about that, George?
H&R Block, you done riled Jade up, okay?
You done it.
And now we're dogging H&R Block a bit, and there's some fine people who, might prepare your taxes at H&R Block. They're not all bad people. Some of them are really quality, but some of them just had to go through like a little online course, and now they're preparing your taxes, and they only really do simple tax returns, which you could then go do for free.
If Boo Boo is doing my taxes, I can do my taxes.
Thank you.
If Boo Boo can sign up for the H&R Block course and do my taxes, then Jade can get Ramsey Smart Tax.
If Boo Boo can do it, you can too. That's the theme of this segment. Well, thank you for that, Jade. Good times. All right, let's get to your calls, America. Andrea joins us in Kansas up next. Andrea, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What's your question today?
My question is, I'm really new to Ramsey. I'm just on baby step one. But the first thing I want to do is adjust my deductions on my paycheck because currently I claim head of household and zero. So they're just taking out the most that they can. And then every year I get a refund. But I'd like to figure out how I know how much deductions I need to adjust so that I break even at the end of the year and I get my money throughout the year.
I love it. What a perfect question after we just talked
perfect.
Tax returns and deductions and withholdings. So you need to work with your employer and HR to adjust those settings. And there's a great calculator on the IRS website. I don't say that often. But if you go through and fill out all your information on that calculator, they will tell you exactly what you need to set up with your deductions and withholdings.
That's right. They can
Have you done that yet, Andrea?
I have not. I talked to my HR department and they had me log into Paylocity, and she said I could just do it all myself, but I'm not very familiar with the program.
You could do it yourself. What they're going to have you do is pull up that W-4 and make those tweaks. But what George was saying is first, do your due diligence and use that calculator to find out and estimate what your withholdings should be. And then you'll be able to know what it needs to look like on that W-4.
Okay.
Are you working with a tax pro already, or have you been doing your taxes yourself?
No, I've been doing it myself. So, I mean, I don't have extremely complicated taxes, but I just want to try and get out of debt and make the most of my money. So
I love it.
I figured this was the first step.
Well, if this is a pain point for you, you can always reach out to a pro that we have vetted in your area at RamseySolutions.com and click on Ramsey Recommends. We've got tax pros called endorsed local providers in the Wichita area to help you navigate these waters and make the most of your money.
Okay.
Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Cooper is up next in Lubbock, Texas. Cooper, welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
What's going on?
Yes, sir. So I'm actually 19. I'll be 20 here in the next couple of months. I just secured a job as a firefighter here in Texas, and I've been with the same woman here for 6 years. We are now looking to get married and buy a home. And I just had a few questions on what to watch out for, what to look for as far as loans and everything goes.
Well, that's exciting.
Wow. This is incredible. What's your income?
So they're actually starting me out here at $65,000 a year.
Great.
Good for you.
What's her income?
And, we have been spending for the down payment and such, and I think we've been able to put away roughly $20,000 together since high school. So
cool. When do you plan on putting a ring on it?
Here, in the next couple of months, we're kind of looking, probably late March, early April.
Okay. Well, for sure, I want you guys married before you purchase this home together. And so
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to speed up you get married when you need to get married, but do not buy a home together before you're married. That is a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely. I'd even suggest George waiting a year.
Yeah. I mean, could you guys rent for a year, continue to save up a down payment, which gives you more options when it comes to housing?
Okay.
There's just so much going on that first year of marriage, Cooper. Your whole life has changed. Everything you know is different. And so throwing a home purchase on top of that is a lot. And so I think just...
Right.
You're trying to figure out which way the dishes go in the dishwasher.
Okay.
That's a whole year right there.
It is a whole year.
Because she's got a method. So I love the goal of being a homeowner. You're 19. Dude, you're going to be so far ahead of the game if you are completely debt-free with a pile of money in the bank and your down payment. Is that your situation?
Sir, that is currently my situation, sir.
Neither of you have debt. You both have savings.
Yeah, we both have savings, we both work, and no debt between both of us.
That's great.
Awesome.
And that 1 year gives you time to save up more of a down payment.
Yes. And so the parameters to help you out with this, we've got a great calculator on our website at RamseySolutions.com to calculate your mortgage. But we want you to do a 15-year fixed where the payment is no more than a quarter of your take-home pay. And with your situation, it'd be so cool to put down 20% or more to avoid that PMI, private mortgage insurance, where you're just handing the lender more money for fun to protect them. That's a bad plan.
Yes, sir.
So I would aim for 20% or more, do the 15-year fix, jump on the calculator, and then it'll tell you, hey, you really should afford you could afford a $200,000 home. And you might need to go, all right, we're going to get a condo or a townhome if we want a home in the next year. Or you say, we're going to wait and save up more, and that'll give us more options. So you guys are putting yourself in an amazing place financially to do this. And also remember, you're cash flowing the ring, you're cash flowing the wedding. There's a lot of upcoming expenses you got to worry about too, which is why it's also great to rent for a while, get your bearings under you before you jump into this. Hang on the line. Austin is going to gift you guys 1 year of Financial Peace University as kind of a premarital counseling. So that's exciting, man. Congrats on the impending engagement and marriage. You're crushing it at 19 years old. This is The Ramsey Show. You're listening to The Ramsey Show. I'm George Camel, joined by Jade Warshaw this hour. This is The Ramsey Show. You know, we love generosity around here, and we also love things that are free. And a free way to be generous is to tell someone about this show, to share it, to leave us a review wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching, to subscribe. That is some great free generosity. It costs you nothing. So if you enjoy this show, we want to impact the most amount of people this year and especially get it into new people's hands and ears.
Oh, yeah.
And so please, if you enjoy the show, do all of those things. Costs you nothing.
It costs you nothing.
I feel like that's a quote right there. It costs you nothing to mind your business. I feel like I've heard that one.
To mind your business.
$0.
I like that. It's a little snippy.
I thought you'd use that on your kids or something.
I might tonight.
Put them in their place.
I might tonight, because my son...
Let me know how it goes. I can't use that on my dogs. They don't care.
They don't care. I like that. It costs you nothing to mind your business.
It's free.
It's free.
Oh, give us a call at 888-825-5225. We'll talk about your life and your money. Kevin has decided to do that over in Miami, Florida. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Hello, George and Jen. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
We're doing good.
How can we help today?
Yeah, so I have a question regarding a vehicle that my fiance is financing. We're trying to sell it because we can't really afford the payments. So we kind of want to figure if we should sell the car or keep it and try to pay off as quickly as possible with some savings that I have right before the wedding.
How much are the payments?
So the payment is $425.
And how much is the car worth?
The car loan is $25,000, and we looked around to see how much they would give us on EBK, and it's about $20K.
Okay.
Is that private party value, or is that like trade-in, dealership?
Private, it's about 21, and then dealer is about 19-20.
Okay, how much money does she have in savings, if any?
I think the only savings she has is really the savings that we've been putting, her savings towards the wedding.
Okay.
Which is how much?
Yeah. I believe she has it's about $2,500.
Okay.
And then we've been cash flowing the wedding.
So the only money that she has is the $2,500. And do you happen to know what her income is?
Yeah, so her income is about $2,000 a month.
Okay. So yeah, this car is too expensive for her. I just want to reiterate that, right now until you're married, you are keeping these finances separate. And if I were her, I would sell this car. I'd sell it and I would use the proceeds to cash flow something that's less expensive that I would pay cash for. And you never know. If she doesn't have any other debt, you could throw some of this into that wedding fund. Does she have any other debt?
No, it's just basically the vehicle.
Okay, so she's underwater on this car, you're saying, where it's only worth $20, she owes $25, so we need to come up with $5,000 fast.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has a little bit of that in savings. How quickly could she save up another $2,500?
To be honest, I don't think that quickly because she's her margins aren't great, especially as we're saving for the wedding.
Is she working full-time right now?
Yeah, she's working full-time and a full-time student as well as me.
Okay.
I'm wondering if there's a better job out there that can get her more than $2,000 a month if she's working full-time.
I'm wondering the same thing. And have you actually set the date for the wedding, or is it still yet to be determined?
No, we have the wedding late April. So April
okay, so the date is set. So you're kind of under the gun here.
Are you guys having to pay for this all yourselves, or is family involved?
Our parents helped us some with the venue, but we've been paying everything off ourselves.
Okay. And are they in a financial position to help any more with the wedding? If you went to them and said, hey, listen, we can't cover this. We've got a situation with her car, and so her wedding savings has to go towards solving this problem. Would they be willing to pitch in more, or could you scale down the wedding?
I don't think they're financially able to help as much as they would like, or as much as they have before.
Kevin, what's your situation financially? What are you bringing home?
I'm bringing home about $2,200 a month.
And are you a student as well?
Yeah,
okay.
Full-time and full-time student.
Okay. And do you have any debt?
No.
Cool. So, again, don't put a dime towards her debt until you guys are already married.
Yeah.
And the other thing she can look into is a personal loan from like a credit union locally to cover the difference of the amount you're upside down on. And so if she can put $1,500 towards it, that means she needs another $3,500 in a personal loan to get out from under this. And it's the only time we would tell you to go into debt, which is really just reducing your debt load currently.
That's right.
From $25,000 in debt to $3,500. That's a much more manageable number for her with her income. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Okay.
And
I would just look into that as an option because her income's not there to save up this money anytime soon, and she'll just need a beater card to get around for now. Maybe she can borrow one from family, whatever she's got to do to get to that wedding to where you guys can combine finances. Hopefully you've graduated. You can increase that income exponentially, putting you guys in a much better place financially.
It's good advice, George.
Whew, that's a tough situation, and y'all, car payments.
Man.
It is just killing America, and interest rates have skyrocketed.
Unbelievable.
And so it's a terrible time to buy a car with a loan.
It is.
It always was, but it's an especially bad time right now.
Yeah, and that loan was eating up a lot of her money. She was only bringing in $2,000 a month, so.
Yikes. All right, Cody's up next in Tyler, Texas. Cody, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
What's going on?
Well, I've worked in the oil field for 13 years, and about 8 months ago, on my way to work, I got rear-ended by a drunk driver.
Oh, shoot.
In a company truck. I mean, there's an upside to it because I got a good settlement from it.
Are you all right?
Yeah, now I am. Yeah, I am now.
Any residual effects? Are you still going to the doctor? Are you healed up?
For the most part, I'd say my brain's 80% now.
Whew.
Oh, man, that's scary.
I'm sorry that
3
happened.
days after Oh, thank you. 3 days after the wreck, I can't get to my favorite Mexican restaurant, but I'm doing better now.
That's a problem. If that's one of your top concerns, you're doing all right, by the grace of God.
Yes, sir.
All right. So what's your question?
I got after everything was paid, the lawyer, all that, I got a $500,000 settlement.
Wow.
Cash in my bank account, and I'm trying to figure out if I should invest it or start a business.
Do you have any debt?
No.
No debt.
How much do you have already in savings?
Well, since the wreck, I wasn't able to work for a while, so it dwindled down, but altogether now it's about $540.
Cool.
And do you have a retirement account through your employer?
No, I was contract.
Okay. And then are you a homeowner?
No.
Are you wanting to be? Because I would rather you put that money into a home than put it into a fun business venture right now.
Absolutely. And not that he has to not that you have to put all of it into a home, but You have the ability
So
to set yourself
if I was to go
up.
that route, should I wait?
I mean, with this kind of money, I would pause anyways, and I'd get a solid team around you.
Mhm.
Number one, you need a real estate expert. A tax pro would be
Mhm.
great, an investing pro. You can
Mhm.
connect with all those at RamseySolutions.com, but I want you to walk with a lot of patience with this kind of money because you've never handled this kind of money, I assume.
No, sir.
And so
No,
it's
sir,
easy.
not at all.
It's like you just won the lottery, and what we find with lottery winners is they lose all of that money. And by
Yeah.
lose, I mean they spent it.
Yeah.
They go broke instantly, correct?
Yeah.
And it was about 2 months that I've gotten paid, and I've kind of just been hiding, almost going crazy because I don't know exactly what to do, and I don't want to make those mistakes.
When do you think you'll be able to go back to work? Or is that...
I don't think I could work on a drilling rig anymore. I think those days are behind.
Those are over.
So,
Well, we're going to send
Yeah.
you Ken Coleman's book, From Paycheck to Purpose, to help you on the career side. And on the financial side, I'm going to walk real slow. And if you want to get a place with cash that's reasonable, do that. The rest, you can just park in a high-yield savings account for now and don't mess with it. That's what I would personally do
Yeah.
to make sure this wealth works for you down the line. Wow. That's quite the situation. Thanks for the call. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books.
Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio, it's The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life and your money. I'm Ramsey personality George Camel, joined this hour by Jade Warshaw, one of our newest Ramsey personalities, and we're having a good time here, and we're excited to take your calls about life and money. And here's the number, 888-825-5225. Stephen kicks off this hour in Charlotte, North Carolina. Stephen, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, how are you doing? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. How can we help?
Yeah, so I am currently a full-time student. Also have a full-time job, just finishing up my last year in school. I have around $20,000 in student loans and $10,000 in a car loan that I have. I was just trying to get more advice on how to kind of handle all of that while finishing school. Should I wait till after? Should I start tackling this debt now? My income's pretty good, although I think after I graduate, it will be much more. So I was just calling to get some advice.
What's the income now?
Around 55.
Damn, that's pretty good.
That's impressive, man.
Not bad at all.
While full-time student.
Yeah. How much time did you say you have until you graduate?
This is my last year.
Okay.
Now,
go ahead, George.
Looking at your income, looking at the payments, are you able to cash flow the remainder of school?
So I did just take out recently a loan in order to finish up my summer classes and everything. That's kind of where I have to pay
Is
out
that
of
part of the
pocket.
20 that you mentioned?
Correct.
Okay.
That's total.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the damage is done there. And so if school is completely covered, we could go ahead and start to pay this off since you are working full time and there's no danger of going into more debt.
I would, especially depending on the type of loan you have, student loan.
Right. And recently I just got a raise. So after taking out that loan, I thought it would be best to kind of put that loan back while there's no interest on it and just kind of pay out of pocket since I have the remaining money to do so.
That's great. When you say put the loan back, what do you mean by that?
So after they refunded me out for what I was going to pay out of pocket for summer, part of that loan, I could just kind of pay it back to the lender and then pay my cash for my whatever I need to pay in summer.
Cool. So if you're following the Ramsey plan, your first A1 would be $1,000 emergency fund. Do you have that already?
Yes.
Okay. How much money do you have beyond that?
I have around $9,000, $10,000 saved up.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, that's great.
So we're about ready to
let's get this
wipe
car
out this
knocked
car
out.
loan.
Right.
That's great. Yeah, you can do that. You could do that tomorrow. It's not a joke. I'm telling you, go ahead and do that.
Ready,
yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Take that $9K, put it towards the car. You'll have $1K left, and then you've got this great income where you can start cash flowing your debt snowball.
So once you have $11,000 to your name, you can clean up that car loan and still have that $1,000 emergency fund. Now we're ready to tackle the student loan, and if you can pay that off before you graduate, that would be amazing.
Oh, well,
are you
wonderful.
able to pay off the loan before graduation?
I think it would be just based off how the rent and stuff has gone up in this area. It would be kind of difficult, but I think I could. It's just based
a cool
off
stretch
what
goal.
I'm doing now.
You seem like a driven guy who's ready to clean this up. And so I just love the idea of you graduating completely debt-free with no payments. You'd be such a unicorn.
Absolutely.
And then you'd be able to save up that 3 to 6 months in no time.
Right. I know it's not the most extreme situation, but just watching all the recent videos, I'm like, I should probably figure out the best way to handle this now. So that's why I just want to get some insight.
I love it, Stephen. Well, when it comes to extreme, and I've been there, it can feel extreme. I mean, there's people who have $7,000 in debt, and it feels like they can't breathe. And so don't minimize your situation. Man, you becoming debt-free at your age is incredible. Way to go.
It is life goals. I wish I had been that way at 19 and 20 and 21. These young cats, man, they're smarter than I am.
Getting it early.
They are so much smarter than I was back in the day. So,
all right, Cassandra is up next in St. Louis. Cassandra, welcome to the show.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
You sound great.
Okay, hi. Yes, I'm just feeling kind of lost in my debt. We're trying to pay off all of my student loans and medical bills while also trying to get a house. And so now I'm feeling overwhelmed with it all. Plus, I got in a car crash this morning, so it kind of shook me up really bad.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. My car's not, but I'm okay.
Well, let's see if we can ease some of this stress for you today. I'm glad that you're feeling. I'm glad that the car crash wasn't more than what it was, especially with the call we had earlier.
Glad my son wasn't in the car. So
yes,
it's a blessing.
Me too.
So, what's your income?
I'm currently making like $4,000 a month take home.
Cool.
And so is my husband.
So $8K total.
So we're talking about $100K take home pay.
Roughly, yeah.
Okay.
How much student loan debt do you have?
I have $37,000 right now. I'm still in school. I'm expecting it to be 42 when I graduate, but I'm hoping that we can pay it off before I graduate.
Well, let's try to set this up to where you're not taking out any more student loans. So that's what we're going to try to walk you through here, because you've got debt. We don't want to create any more debt. So you got the $37K in student loans, and you mentioned medical debt. Can you tell us about that? How much that is?
Yes, it's roughly $22,000 right now.
And is there any other debt on the table between you and your husband?
No, he has $4,000 in medical debt, but we already paid off our credit cards.
Okay, so no credit cards. So it's just the $37, $22, and the $4K, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So you guys are making a great income. $8K a month, $100K take home. Mm-hmm. You're in 63 of debt. Do you have anything in savings?
We currently have $13,000 in savings because we're trying to buy a home. We're living with the in-laws, and that's not going over too well anymore. So.
Okay, so what I think we need to do is focus on one thing at a time. At this point, we're not in a really great position to start buying a home. You've got this debt around your neck. You're trying to finish school. If I'm you, I'm going to take a look at this $13K that you have in savings, and I'm just going to walk it through the baby steps. So the way that we teach is baby step 1 is getting $1,000 saved. That's thing 1. So out of that $13K in savings, I'm going to put $1K aside, and then that's going to leave me with $12K to start putting towards debt. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
And then so you can go ahead and knock out your husband's $4K bill with that. And then after that, you've got a little bit left to throw onto that medical debt. And then from then on, I'm just going to walk out the baby step 2 in order. I'm going to keep working that debt snowball. Like George said, you've got a great income. Start paying down that debt with a vengeance. If you can pick up extra income, that's great. And then once that debt is knocked out, we can go to our 3 to 6 months of expenses, start building back up that savings. And I want to make this clear. Don't start saving that for that house until you get that debt cleared up and until you get to baby step 3B.
And once you guys are out of debt, maybe you move out and you rent for a while, but home ownership is a more distant dream, and I want you to do it when the timing is right. And so you'll get there in no time if you do this stuff in order with focused intensity.
And cash flow that school.
Absolutely. This is The Ramsey Show.
Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm George Camel, host of The Fine Print, Entree Leadership, and co-host of Smart Money Happy Hour, joined by Jade Warshaw. And Jade, we are both pretty frugal people, I would like to say.
This is true, George.
And a lot of people are struggling right now with inflation and the economy, and there's too much month at the end of their money. So I thought it would be fun if we gave our listeners, our viewers, some inflation hacks, per se.
I love it.
And when I say hacks, they all take work, and so there's no true life hack. Here's some sacrifices you can make to find some margin and create some margin in your budget every single month so that you can accomplish your money goals.
Most of them are pretty simple changes, though, if we really look at this list, George. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so let's start with groceries, because that seems to be on everyone's mind right now. None of these will blow your mind, but knowing when to buy in bulk. So you can ask yourself a few questions. Can I eat it before it goes bad? Because if you buy in bulk and it all goes bad, you wasted a whole bunch of money. Is the price per ounce cheaper? Most people are not doing the math. A lot of times it's actually on the label. It will show you the per ounce price. And so just because you got it at the wholesale club doesn't always mean it's cheaper than at your local grocery store.
That's true. I made that mistake with jelly.
And here's a big question asked. Do I have room to store all of this mucilix? So much mucilix.
Oh, don't do it.
So
don't
storage can be a problem if you don't have a lot of space. And then obviously, will I actually use this? So there's some, of course, choosing generic brands. That's a tough one for a lot
I don't
who
know
are
why.
married to their brand name.
They're made in the same factory, people.
It's just marketing.
It's literally just a different label on it. Tell your brain that next time you go to the store, because it's true.
Yeah, the acetaminophen versus the Tylenol is the same thing. Made on the same line.
Yep. And I love this one, George. Eat less meat.
That's a big one for you.
That's coming from me. Y'all know I'm the resident
you
vegetarian. I'm the resident
of meat-eating Americans when you say stuff like that.
It's not look, I'm not telling them to go hungry. I'm telling them to eat a different form of protein. And a lot of times you're getting the same amount of protein per ounce.
I just
very
feel
close
like
to it.
Tofu infringes on my rights as an American.
George, you come to the house tonight. I will prepare you the best tofu you've ever had in your life. And you will rave and you will go in the streets and rip your shirt off and tell these people how great
That's not the sight America
was.
needs right now. Unbelievable. Another thing you can do, switch up the grocery store. A lot of you're stuck to, I go to this grocery store, but I'm telling you, Christina Ellis is doing her no spend challenge.
Yeah.
She's been shopping at Aldi, and I am just shocked at how much she can stretch those dollars.
She's spending under $100 a week
for a family of 4.
Family of 4.
So don't tell me it can't be done.
It can be done.
Shopping online can be helpful if you're one of those compulsive, going by the snack aisle type shoppers.
That's me.
So ordering in the app for pickup and maybe having an accountability partner to look over what you are ordering.
Be careful, though, because sometimes in those apps, they do add premiums. I know the Publix apps, the Publix app trips. I'm letting you know. I would much rather do that with some of the other apps that don't add as much of a premium.
That's good. And of course, meal plan. Jade, you're amazing at this. I know it's work. People are like, meal plan? That's like CrossFit. This is too much work.
It's work on the front end. What you need to do is get a list of start out by writing out all the meals you love, all your family favorites. And then you can come on websites or social medias like mine and get, some other ideas. And then after that, it's just about plug and play. The hardest part is writing out and really getting that kind of list of all the things that you like to eat, separating it out, but we've got you covered.
Well, now you can just Google and YouTube all this stuff. You don't have to invent it from scratch.
No, you don't. But,
there you go.
People eat the same thing over and over. They get bored.
And we don't need to talk about eating out because the best hack for inflation is just to not eat out if you don't have to.
Please.
And if you are like, I don't have enough money at the end of the month, one of the easiest ways to make money back into your life is by not eating out. It is astronomically expensive these days.
And okay, that's a good point, George. But even for folks, let's say you're in baby step 3 and you're doing, you're past that baby step 2 phase, but you're still like, man, this inflation, and you're going to restaurants every now and then. Can you pick it up instead of dining in?
Yes.
You can avoid the tip. And here's my favorite tip for folks who are still going to restaurants but trying to save. Leave your kids at home.
That's big.
Don't bring those
kids. But then you got to hire a babysitter. You got to offset the cost now.
George, I would rather pay for childcare than to pay $14 for whatever their food was and it ends up on the floor.
Ooh.
And I'm talking about times 2 because I got 2 kids.
Warshaw kids. She's coming for you. All right, let's move on to housing and utility. Saving on your electric bill. There's a lot of things you can do here. Number 1, replace those air filters. They're probably crispy and nasty, and it's time anyways.
That's right.
Your air filter, your HVAC is having to work so hard. It's working overtime because of those nasty filters. Only run appliances when they're full. That means being a little more strategic, a little more patient. Turn off the dang lights when you're not using them.
Yeah.
And if my dad is listening, he's like, yes.
I want to know how much does it really save? Because I grew up on that. Turn the light off.
It adds up.
Cut that light off.
And washing your clothes in cold water. I was just watching someone who's an appliance pro, and they were like, washing in cold water with today's detergents, it's going to clean it just as well as your warm or hot water.
Yes, it does. That's a great
one. So you can
one.
save money there. Water bills. Take quicker showers. Notice I didn't say fewer. I said quicker. Some of y'all,
need to
you're
get clean.
hanging out like it's a hot tub in there. Get what you need to
George,
get done and get out.
Why are you coming at me this hour? Why are you coming at me?
Well, I think this is a woman problem. Now, some guys probably take super long showers,
man.
But
I take the long hot shower until the skin comes off. Ooh. I'm just burning myself in there.
Don't run the dishwasher or laundry until the machine is full. That's another good one. Turn off the tap when you brush your teeth. I'm guilty of that one. When you're shaving, washing your hair, turn off the tap. Don't just let it run for fun.
That is very good.
We live in a society, people. Act like it. And then you can install a low-flow shower head. So people
George,
get upset about this one.
This is taking it too far.
Well, some of those shower heads, I mean, just the pressure coming out of those things will take your skin off. So I'm just saying, all of it helps. Rent, this is a tough one, right? People are going, well, my rent's so expensive. If you're single, it may be time to get a roommate and cut it in half. If you're married, some married couples are like, we got an extra room. We're going to use this to make money.
We did it. When we were in baby step 2, our rent was $1,200 a month, and we, as married people, got roommates who were other married people, and we did it for a year and saved $600 a month.
That's a life hack right there. And then you can also look into a lease that's longer than a year. If you know you're going to be somewhere for a while, you can sign up for a longer lease, which can lower your rent, which is great. Very good. Here's a life hack: move out and find somewhere cheaper to live. It exists. And you may not want to do it, but that's one way to lower your cost there. Transportation is another one that has gotten real expensive. And so things like combining your errands, there are gas reward programs out there that are free that can save you a few cents on the dollar. Mm-hmm. You probably have all the crap in your car that may be weighing down your car.
That's true.
And that can help with your fuel economy. And cruise control, aggressively speeding and braking on the highway, all that can lower your gas mileage by from 50 cents to $2 a gallon.
Yeah.
$2.
That's true. I remember my dad used to tell me, take the highway because it's less stop and go and you'll save on gas.
Dads. Way to go, dads.
Way to go, Dad.
They were the first frugal folks out there. I love it.
He was the one that said, cut the light off.
And now let's end with some lifestyle savings hacks. And the biggest one is subscriptions. We live in the subscription economy, and they all add up, and everyone wants to nickel and dime you for their thing.
Prime has gotten, I love me some Prime, but they've gotten out of control with this price.
So if let's just say you cut, Netflix is now $16 a month, Spotify's $10 a month,
Yep,
YouTube Premium's $12 a month, Hulu without the ads is $13 a month. That's $50 a month just on TV shows and music, and I can't keep up with the amount of content on there.
No, if you have enough, can I just say this? I'm about to harp on and I'm talking to myself too. If you have all these subscriptions and you're watching that much TV, we need to find something else to do with our time. And I'm saying we an hour because I'm in it too.
Well, what's amazing is you cut all the subscriptions because you got a part-time job now because you're trying to get out of debt.
Yeah.
And you don't miss it.
No.
You're too busy for that.
You're too busy working.
And that's $600 a year that you can throw at debt. You can afford your groceries, all of that kind of stuff, and extra time you'll have when you're watching. I don't know what the cool shows are. Emily in Paris. I don't know what's cool these days.
It sounds like you watch Emily in Paris, George. How else did you know about it?
My wife does. It happened to be on, and I was in the room. The other lifestyle one's clothing. Don't buy clothing unless it's an actual need. We have so many clothes in America today. Your closet is just full of crap that you once thought was going to be cute.
Yeah.
And now it's still got tags on.
And there's really cool ways that you can do those clothing exchanges too. Like if you have something and you paid a little bit of money for it, you can go on one of those exchanges, sell it, and then maybe take the money and either put it towards debt or buy something else. So it's more of an exchange.
Yes. And lastly, make coffee at home. I know it's one of those tried and true. Well, what's the $5? Oh, it saves you big.
It adds up. And it tastes better, George, because you get it right every time.
That's right. And you can make your own little frothy lattes at home, and it's $14 cheaper than Starbucks. And no more gas station runs. That is keeping y'all broke every day. I'm going to stop in, get my little snack, get my little drink. That's how they're making their money right there.
And it's putting the pounds on, too.
Boom.
Don't sleep on it.
Good hacks. Thanks, Jade. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I know most of you are glad to be rid of 2022 because it was hard to keep gas in the car, food in the fridge, and money is still tight a few days later here in 2023. And you might be wondering if this year is going to be any different, if you're going to be able to make any progress, if you're going to be able to pay the bills and build wealth, and you don't have to live through another year of stress and worry. We are doing a free live stream event this Thursday called Building Wealth in 2023 because we want to show you that it is still possible to make progress on those goals, to build wealth, to have peace with your money, even in this crazy economy. During this event, you're going to hear from Dave Ramsey, Rachel Cruz, myself, and we're going to be joined by John Deloney and Ken Coleman to have some fun talking about how to set goals, how to create margins so that you can build wealth this year. And here's the good news. It's completely free. So it's a great event to send to your friends, send to the folks you wish were on the Ramsey plan and go, hey, could you spare an hour of your time to tune into this free live stream wherever you are in the world? Go to RamseySolutions.com/wealth to sign up for the free live stream. That is RamseySolutions.com/wealth. Jade, you'll be watching, I hope?
I will definitely be watching. I love those live streams, and they always come at the right time. Just when you need it. They've helped Sam and I in many a hard time, many a dark hour.
Well, I'm going to tease a little bit about what's going to be in this event. Dave is going to kick it off with a State of the Union, talking about all the things we're feeling, all of the different aspects of the economy, from the inflation, the recession, the stock market roller coaster, the job market, consumer debt, anxiety, and really center it and bring us home with some hope. And
That's
then
good.
I'll get out there and hopefully have a good time showing people how to create margin in their finances regardless of where they're at. And a lot of that is we got to get on a debt. We got to get on a budget. We got to find where all the money leaks are happening in our life and take control of that income, our greatest wealth building tool.
I love it.
And then finally, Rachel Cruz. She's going to be kind of closing out to the keynote section, talking about how to ride this roller coaster and how to addressing all of the fears that we have when it comes to investing, because so many people don't do it because there's legitimate fear. And they're going, I don't want to lose money. I'm risk averse.
Yeah.
I'm conservative. I don't want. And because of that, they retire with nothing.
Ooh, that's no way to be. We can't let our fear guide.
Absolutely. And so beyond that, we're going to have a fun roundtable with Ken Coleman and Dr. John Deloney joining.
That's a good time.
A lot of surprises. You don't want to miss it.
I love it.
January 12th, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Go to RamseySolutions.com/wealth.
Facts over fears.
That's what it's all about. Max is up next in Phoenix, Arizona. Max, welcome to The Ramsey Show, my friend. How you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Doing great. What's your question today?
All right. So my question, it's a little bit more of a broad one. I am, just for context, 19 years old. I do work full-time, been working full-time for the last year and a half. I make about $200,000 a year pre-tax.
Excellent.
What do you do?
I sell cars.
Excellent.
That's a lot of cars.
Yeah.
How did you do this at 19?
Really, it was just being relentless. There were a couple of programs in my area. I started investing really in myself, going to like training seminars, stuff like that. And really, I'd work 12 hours a day, then study 4 hours a day.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Just basic selling. And
Awesome.
First year, I really struggled. And, I struggled. I made $100,000 my first year, but
quite the struggle there for an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Wow.
So that's really good.
Yeah. But now the market shifted, and I was just ready for it. And now I'm just looking on how I can invest properly. I don't have a lot of debt. I do have a leased car.
Spoken like a true car salesman.
Right. How much?
Yep.
Other than the car, and I want to know how much the car debt is. Do you have any other debt?
No, I have no other debt. I just have rent.
Okay.
So just the car lease.
Correct.
Okay. You know this better than anyone. What is the early buyout amount on that car?
$30,000.
Okay. Well, how much money do you have in the bank?
So it'd be, just to explain it better, the residual value on it's $30,000. That's the buyout plus what I currently make payments on, which is $20,000. So it'd be a total of $50,000.
Ooh.
Oh my Lord.
That's the full early buyout amount if you wanted to own this car free and clear.
Yes, it's a $65,000 car.
Sheesh.
What kind of car is this?
It is a Infiniti Q60 Red Sport.
Wow. Sick whip.
And if you, oh my goodness.
Well, the good news is, as a part of your world and your income right now, it's actually reasonable if you can continue to make $200,000. Now, if you make $100,000 next year, we got a problem.
That's right.
Right. Yes, I can terminate the lease early for $5,000 and turn it in tomorrow and forget about it.
As a $5,000 stupid tax and call it a day.
Correct.
Oh, all right, that's an option.
I do have the money to pay it off.
Well, what's the big question that's on your mind that we can help with today?
Really, it's just I'm trying to start saving my money, spending my money a little more wisely. I have about $100,000 in the bank right now.
What?
And,
amazing.
Yeah. And I'm trying to learn how to invest that and just really get started. I have outside of the car, I'm a very frugal saver. I know where my money goes. But I just found Dave about a month ago, so I just started getting into it. I'm probably going to go through financial peace here shortly, but I'm really just trying to dial in on this and figure out how do I invest that money.
So as a car salesman, are you your own man, or are you on... Do they offer any benefits towards you, is what I'm asking, to figure out what your retirement situation looks like?
401k.
They do offer a 401k.
Is there a match?
Yes. 50%.
Sweet.
Is it up to a certain amount?
Yeah, it's up to, I believe, 20% of your take home.
Cool.
Wonderful.
Well, that's a great place to start.
Yeah.
As far as have you been doing that?
Yeah, I haven't been doing the full 20. I've been doing about 10, which is commission, it fluctuates a little bit. Just taking 10% of it a month is really about $1,000, $2,000 a month, give or take.
So you could really walk up the baby steps with this. You know, you could make sure that out of that $100K, you're keeping 3 to 6 months of expenses out. In your case, I'd go ahead and keep 6 months out, just because your profession is a little bit more volatile and there's only one of you. It's only one income. So I'd keep 6 months of that. I would continue to do the 15% investing. And, you know, do you have any goals? You're 19. Are you thinking about, I mean, what are you thinking about? Yeah, housing wise?
Yeah, I've been looking at it. I mean, I just moved to Phoenix about 6 months ago. So I'm still learning the area. So
Very smart.
Moved from Nashville, Tennessee, actually.
Good. Very smart. Keep doing that. Keep learning the area. Give yourself about a year over there. And I think that you can kind of keep some of this money stashed away, maybe in a good money market account where it's getting some interest. And when you're ready, you know, you're going to have a nice hefty down payment when the time comes.
Yeah, I mean, with your income, you truly could pay cash for something if you want to go real intense. But as long as you got 20% or more down, you know, with your situation, you could put 10, but you make so much. There's no reason why you couldn't have 20.
He needs to go for the gold.
Get a 15-year fixed rate mortgage. I know that's controversial in today's society, but man, when you get a 15-year where the payment is no more than a quarter of your take-home pay, you have money left over, which means you can live your life, you can pay it off early, which means in your 20s, you could have a paid-for house. Think about that.
That's right.
No payments in the world, a giant pile of money in the bank, and the rest of your life ahead of you to continue investing. You could buy more property with cash. You can the world is your oyster at that point.
And Max, no more leases.
No more.
All right? That was it. We learned the lesson. The snake bit us. We're not leasing anymore.
Because I want all the other car salesmen to look at you at 19 making this kind of money with no car lease, and they're going, I don't understand, Max. Leasing is great. This is what we do for a living. And you go, nah, dude. I found Dave Ramsey. I'm trying to live a debt-free life. And they're going to look at you going, will you show me how oh, wow. You're investing that much? You have a paid-for house. Okay, I'm listening to Max's plan now.
All right, I love it.
Way to go, dude. That's inspiring right there.
These young people killing it, George.
Step it up, old people. Max has got you beat by a mile.
Are you talking to me, George?
No, I didn't look at you when I said it. I was not making eye contact. This is The Ramsey Show. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day comes from Proverbs 15:23. A person finds joy in giving an apt reply, and how good is a timely word. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, our chief want is someone who will inspire us to be what we know we could be. That's a good coach right there. Love it. All right, let's go to Jake in Billings, Montana. Jake, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Yeah. Hey, George and Jade, thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Long-time listener, first-time caller, so bear with me. I'm a little nervous, but
it's all right.
We'll get through it. Yeah. So, long story short, we found out last week that my dad's got terminal cancer and probably got weeks, maybe months, and I trust your guys' opinion on things, and I just wanted to see if there's anything that, we haven't thought of that maybe you guys would recommend we check into or do before all that takes place.
Yeah.
Jake, I'm so sorry.
So sorry. Man. That's tough.
What kind of cancer is it?
Lung cancer that's spread to everything else.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, we're happy to give you some good next steps and kind of a checklist of things to go through. Is there other family in the picture? Is there mom?
Yeah, yep. Mom and dad are still married, and then my brother and I.
Okay. Well, does he have a will in place or an estate plan?
They do have a will. I'm sure it's a simple will, but yeah, they had it drawn up a couple of years ago now.
I would triple check that and maybe go over it with them and have him make sure all the the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed there.
Yeah. Do you know, do they have any debt?
No, they do not.
Oh,
The
that's
house was paid off as well.
Oh, wonderful.
What a blessing that is. So the other pieces of information that would be really helpful is where all the insurance information, any important information, logins, make sure that's all written down somewhere that you'll have access to.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's the not fun part.
About that.
There's just so many
Dad was
places.
gonna start writing that stuff down.
Account numbers, contact information, all of that.
Okay.
And is he still in a spot where he's able to interact with you guys?
Yes. Yep. He is.
Okay. It may be special for him to make videos for each person in the family saying everything that he wants to say. That's such a gift to have that. Has he considered doing that?
No, it's not something we'd talked about yet.
I think that'd be a wonderful gift.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to do, but man, you will treasure that for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we would. It makes you reevaluate your time with somebody for sure. And so, we're just trying to wrap our heads around that. But
is there any kind of a bucket list things that he's mentioned that he wants to do, that he's able to do?
No, not particularly. And I think we're probably past that point. Mobility is a major issue, but his mind is still good.
Yeah. What's your dad's name?
Nick.
Man, it sounds like Nick was a great dad. He's really set you guys up. No debt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The will in place. I mean, that is just such a blessing. That's such a legacy. That's right, George.
Yeah.
And as far as expenses, funeral expenses, is all of that going to be covered?
Well, so that's kind of, that started all this discussion. The funeral, he wants it simple, but we've never had to plan anything like that. So I'm not sure if there's things that, we're simply not aware of. We did get, the funeral home, or I guess, it's the funeral plot place involved. And so we're asking those questions with them, but kind of looking at where to go from there too. Yeah.
And just make sure in the will, all of his wishes are in there.
Yeah, that's why it's a good idea to go over it ahead of time. I mean, I know it would be difficult, but have everybody in the room, everybody that it involves, go through that, make sure, like George said, all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and everybody's understanding what the next step's going to be.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I think we'll do that. We'll go pull that out.
We also have an estate planning checklist that we'll make sure you get the link to when you get off the phone.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
okay.
And that would be great just to be able to go through that. There's several steps that you can just make sure this is all taken care of, and it's going to give you peace through all of this as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll be super helpful.
Is there an executor of the will currently?
Yes, I guess. Would that default to my mom?
It sounds like it would. I would just double check the language in there because whatever that will says is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you may have to go through probate to finalize all of the assets and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would also get in touch with an estate attorney and figure out all of that stuff ahead of time, because the last thing you want is, I didn't understand, or I didn't know, and I didn't know the assets move this way, and here's what we have to go through, and this could take months. And so I just want you to make sure you know exactly what's coming, because I want you to have space to grieve instead of have to deal with all the details.
And how old's your mom?
That's what we want to.
How old's your
they're
mom?
both 62.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both 62.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's in good health?
Yeah. Yep. She sure is. Yeah. But it's that weird stuff. I don't know what'll happen with, his IRA. I know he's got a rollover IRA or Social Security, and I don't know how that all plays out. But
you want to make sure she's set up with, whoever you were using, or your dad was using, or that they were using, making sure that she was fully a part of that and understands all the investments, understands what the game plan is there.
And I would go through every single account, and for bank accounts, for example, make sure that she's joint on that bank account. So everything would just flow to her, making sure on the IRA that you have the beneficiary set up and it's who you want it to be. And so those are some pieces of the puzzle that you could knock out quickly to give you some peace of mind when it comes to the financial side.
Yeah.
But I assume she's going to continue living in their paid-for home?
Yeah, she perhaps it will be it's It's some acreage. It would be a lot for her to maintain, but we could rent it if we had to. My wife and I have had rentals and still do. So, like, we could figure that out. And
is this kind of family land that you would want to keep generationally, or is this something where she might be willing to sell it, downsize later on?
We would certainly prefer to keep it. Like, it's an awesome place. But it's up to her at the end of the day. That's entirely her decision.
Yeah. Well, part of this is just supporting mom and obviously the rest of the family through all of this. And man, this whole family just sounds incredible.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the kind of family I want to be.
Absolutely.
And the kind of dad I would want to be. So,
and they're wonderful to have a son like you stepping in and making sure everything is in place and that this is as smooth of a journey as possible. So thank you for that.
How old are you, Jake?
My brother and I are both 35.
Wow. I can't imagine losing a parent at that age, man. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it came as a heck of a surprise. It's a real punch in the gut for everybody. But
have they been following the Ramsey plan? Like, did they get you guys turned on to all of this?
No, they've always just been very frugal.
Just common sense.
Like, I can't say that I'm a Ramsey follower, but I definitely practice the same things that you guys preach, I guess. So, like, my wife and I are debt free as well. House is paid for and stuff. So, like, it's all good. Financially, we're all good. I just don't know what is coming. This is a new one.
Yeah.
Well, with all the unknowns, there's a lot of things that are in your control right now to knock out and give the family some space to grieve. And I'll send you a copy of John Deloney's book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. There's a lot of principles in there that I think will help you and the family grieve through this, process all of this in a healthy way. And we're also going to make sure you get that estate planning checklist, which is free online if you just Google Ramsey estate planning checklist. But we'll get you the specific link. Austin he'll figure that one out for us. But Jade, what a lesson in legacy and saying I love you to your family in such a tactical way.
Oh, he has proven that is taking care of your money well is one of the greatest ways that you can love your family well. Because this could have been filled with chaos.
I was fully expecting it to be a nightmare. And instead it was just like, oh yeah, he did that. We've got the will in place. So if you're listening, America, get a will done today.
Today.
Go to our website. We've got a link over there to our friends at Mama Bear Legal Forms. You can do this online, and it doesn't take long, and it's just one thing to check off. You're not going to die any sooner if you get a will in place, by the way.
Right.
But man, what a legacy. Jake, we are thinking of you and your family today.
That's right.
During this really, really difficult time. Appreciate you trusting us with this call. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. My thanks to Jade Warshaw, all the folks in the booth, and you, America. Until next time, spend wisely, save intentionally, and give generously. Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.